Good evening and welcome to the joint meeting of the City Council of the City of Myrna Valley Community Services District, City of Successor Agency for the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Myrna Valley Housing Authority, Myrna Valley Public Financing Authority, and the Board of Library Trustees. The City Council receives a separate stipend for CSD meetings. I now call this meeting to order on November 17, 2020 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Marquez.
Here.
Councilmember Cabrera.
I'm here.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca is not here yet. And Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes. Okay. Staff introductions, please.
Pat Huck is not a city clerk.
Steve Quintanilla, interim city attorney.
Mike Lee, city manager.
Marshall Ironman, assistant city manager, chief financial officer.
Michael Wolf, assistant city manager, director of public works, city engineer.
Manuel Mancha, community development director.
Patty Solano, Parks and Community Services Director.
Captain John Salisbury, Chief of Police.
Abdul Ahmed, Fire Chief.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, staff. Before we hear public comments this evening, I do ask and encourage everyone participating to keep their comments respectful towards each other, especially towards the individuals speaking. Those wishing to speak on any subject on the agenda and not on the agenda under the jurisdiction of the City Council may speak now. In order to preserve the meeting decorum, council and staff will not respond during public comments. Any council comments or questions to staff, we will address those during the council closing comments or in the city manager's report. Any person wishing to address either myself or the City Council on any matter, either under the comment section of the agenda or scheduled items or the public hearings, must follow the teleconference procedures and wait to be identified to speak by myself. Members of the public may be limited to 3 minutes per person or the allowed time set. And then I may also establish an overall time limit for comments on a particular agenda item. So Madam Clerk, how many speakers do we have tonight?
We have 6 listed, but so far that are in the meeting are 4.
Okay, so so we just call on them. So go ahead and call on the first 3, and then the way the procedures works is like always. If you're not there when we call on you, then you miss your turn. So then it's the next person.
Okay. Robert Palomares, Luis Palomares, and Tom Jarrell.
Okay.
Bob.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Bob. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, I called to congratulate you, Mayor.
Oh, thank you.
You've done well. What you've done speaks for itself. I don't have to sugarcoat nothing. You've done a great job. And that, not just in your term, but the way I see it, and it's my opinion, since the city has been here since '84, the city councils, I think you've gone way above and beyond. But you know what? It's to the benefit of the people. That's the kind of person you are. So, congratulations. And I know you're going to get a lot more done. Also, the Mayor Pro Tem, Victoria Baca, she's a trailblazer, that lady. There's no quitting in her. And I just want to congratulate her and everyone that ran. That's part of the democracy here. Let people run and see what they can do. And my friend of mine, Mr. Brugarius, even though he didn't come out on top, he's a hardworking guy, and I know he'll continue to do a great job with the Planning Commission. He's all walking. When he talks, he walks it too. And also, in that District 3, sad to say, but Rafael's not the one that lost. It's that district that lost. Because here we go with more years of really no representation. And, that's sad. This city is moving, and there's sometimes people that just try to drag it down, but, got to keep going. But anyway, Mayor, I just wanted to congratulate you and the best, and keep it up. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next, Madam Clerk, I would think you said it was Louise and Tom Gerald.
Yes, sir, Luis, can you hear us? *6, Luis.
I think she's on mute. Maybe we can unmute her.
Luis, you need to do *6.
Hello,
Okay.
I unmuted myself, I believe.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Luis Palomar, community activist here. I just wanted to call and congratulate our mayor again for coming back and doing the exit campaign and getting that seat. I'd like to congratulate Mrs. Baca, Pro Tem Baca. And as far as Marcus, well, he won his seat fair and square, but my bottom line is with him, we don't have no representation in the 3rd district, because for 4 years, he didn't do a darn thing in the 3rd district, really nothing. So we're going to go 4 years with no representation. That's pretty bad. I mean, I'm telling you, he's up there with the big leaguers, and you don't even know what he's doing half the time. He don't got it in him. He don't got what it takes to fill that seat. I really wish he would just, I'll leave it at that. But anyway, as far as the city, it looks like it's going forward. We're doing good. We got the amphitheater coming, all the things that have been happening in our city, the jobs coming, all of the good things. And I just want to say that the rest of the council members are doing a great job. And Marcus, I guess he'll just fill the seat for 4 more years of doing nothing candidate. So that's too bad for us. We just lost out on another 4 years of not having anybody to represent the 3rd district. As I said, I'll say it again and again. Well, on another note, it looks good. Everything, the campaigns came out good. I'm so glad. I want to congratulate also Gutierrez. Ralph Fial Gutierrez, because he did a good job. He was out there talking to the people and everything else. So he did a great job. Like I said, Bob said, we lost in the 3rd district. It's a community that lost because we don't got no representation with David Marcus, but we know the haters club kept on pushing him, run. He don't want to run. They just want him in there because that's their boy. So it's too bad. They're just using him again. They'll use him for another 4 years. Well, that's his loss. So thank you again, and keep on going forward, taking our city forward, our council here in Moreno Valley. Thank you, and good night.
Tom Jarrell, Elmer Thomas, and Linda Thomas.
Good evening. Am I transmitting okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and members of staff and the public. Always a joy to be able to speak to our locally elected officials. And as I do many times, I want to give a few kudos to some of our departments there. I saw graffiti patrol out doing its valuable job several times in the last couple of weeks. And our public works department, in fact, I saw a guy right in front of my house today came and cleaned up some like weed growth that was probably from the early rains, and before they get overgrown, because it does a lot of damage to the pavement. So little things like that add up. And I've been kind of remiss. I haven't thanked our police department in recent times, and well, I could give you guys a long dissertation on some really positive experiences I've had with our PD. I've seen some great policing, and I just thank them. I've had good experience with the fire department, so our essential services are to be commended, and get a big attaboy, attagirl, and pats on the back. So, and I want to congratulate Mayor Gutierrez and Mayor Pro Tem Baca for their victories at a re-election, and hope they'll press on. And I'm not too big, even though I didn't support them, to congratulate Councilman Marquez on his victory. He won it, appears fairly handily, but and I know he has stout competition. So I didn't support him primarily on issues because I see the value of good growth in the community, and I think that's essential, and that's very, very important to any dynamic community. So I think it's really important, especially to our young people, as I don't get out as much as I used to, but when I run into young people and talk to them at various functions, and they, they're looking for newer and better and improved, and they like to see that stuff. So that's what builds community pride. It builds community involvement. So I hope we can press on. And I'll commend Raphael for a campaign extremely well run. The man knows nothing, and he's a WORK guy, hard worker, and he's got his heart in the right place, and he loves the community passionately, and he shows it in his efforts. So I'll congratulate the council, wish him the best, and hope that this new year we can get our handle on this stupid COVID and get on with life here. There's better things to do than and all this hibernating we've had to do. So I thank you and wish you the best, and press on. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Elmer Thomas, followed by Linda Thomas, and our last speaker is David Nelson.
Okay, and then I just
Mr. Thomas?
yes.
Oh, awesome.
Hi.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. First, congratulations to the mayor and the mayor pro tem on their commanding leads, and kudos to Raphael for giving David Marquez a run for his money. Nicely done. I see that there's still a bunch of provisional ballots to be processed, so I'm still holding out hope. And I'm feeling good about the future here in Moreno Valley, and feeling much better about our decision to establish roots in this city. I'm here mainly to address 2 meetings ago. David Marquez expressed his desire to put the issue about the car accident to bed. And I just really can't in good conscience do that, especially since now I found out he had the audacity to join a CHP commission on safe driving. And given that he can't even get his own granddaughter to drive with valid insurance and not exceed the speed limit down Eucalyptus and District 3, because, they might just run into a van. And yes, I have physical, written, and voice testimony to back up that fact. This is why my own insurance marked me as 100% not at fault, ultimately causing Mr. Marquez to step in and offer up his insurance. And get this, try to sue us using Larry H. Parker. And we all know the type of ambulance chasers they use that law firm. That's truly pathetic and disgraceful and just overall sad. So no, this issue's not going to bed, because you may be tired, but I'm just getting started. And so next you can expect state and federal investigations. Good luck with that. Finally, can someone in our community get Mr. Marquez to answer the following questions, since he keeps ducking and dodging answering me? Number 1, why have you not resigned or apologized to me, my wife, and the Riverside Sheriff Officer at the scene of the accident? Especially since I was the one to check on your granddaughter first, ignoring my own injuries? And why do you find it okay to disobey the female officer on scene and tell my family we're nobodies? I don't think my CHP brothers and sisters will look kindly on that. And it's probably the reason why your watch commander at Montebello PD had nothing good to say about it. Number 2, why, after so much talk of opposing the WLC, did you fold like a little weasel after just one meeting with the developer at Sizzler? Do I need to take you to dinner at Sizzler to get you to apologize? And number 3, when are you getting back to doing your job? What's the plan to move our district forward along with the rest of the city? And no, I don't think using up our reserves is the plan. We urgently need to march steadfast into the future, and you are incredibly unqualified and out of touch with technology to do that work. You don't even know how to use social media properly. And finally, number 4, what is your stance on Black Lives Matter? You were notably silent during that period, and I am deeply offended at that. Plus, I'm still offended all the negative things you said to Mexican people with the gall and audacity to have signs in Spanish. So with that, I'm going to yield my time because unfortunately my wife is not available to come in. But thank you to the rest of the council. I'm incredibly bullish on Moreno Valley's future, and I'm looking forward to contributing and helping us march firmly and directly into the future. Thank you, and have a great night.
Thank you.
David Nelson. We have called all the speakers. There are no more speakers, Mayor.
Okay, all right. We'll go ahead and move on to, oh, I do want to make it known that Mayor Pro Tem Baca is here. I saw her somewhere. Yeah, there she is. Okay. So she joined us in the meeting. And would any council members like to make their comments before? All right. We are now going to move to our joint consent calendar, sections A through E on the agenda. And then all items under the consent calendars, sections A, B, C, D, and E are considered to be routine and non-controversial and may be enacted by one motion. The motion to adopt the consent calendars is deemed to be a separate motion by each agency and shall be so recorded by the city clerk. At this time, if you would like any comments on particular items, just raise your hand. Okay, Councilor Marquez.
Yeah, I'd like to pull A20 for some questions.
Okay, A20. Okay, anybody else? Okay, Councilor Cabrera.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Just two items, item A17 and item A19, just for a comment.
Okay, and A19. Okay, we'll do the A17 and A19, the comments first. So, okay.
Thank you, Mayor. So just briefly, I want to make sure that we put a little bit of a spotlight on these items. A17 is actually the construction contract for the San Juan Bautista de Anza Trail that runs through the entire city. And this particular contract is going to go for construction of, let's see, I forget what phase it is, but it's a large part of District 4 over on the south side of the city. So really excited about that. We've been working on this. The city staff has been working on this for years. And we're finally getting closer to it being constructed. So I'm looking forward to that. And thank you to our staff for working on that as well.
Was this mine?
And let's see, the next item, A19, actually it's very similar to A20, but I also just want to put emphasis on this one, that the city is using some of our asset forfeiture funds to purchase a few UAVs, more commonly known as drones. They're quadcopters that will be used for the police department. And this is also very exciting because we've been having these conversations for a couple of years now, and we've seen the technology come out, get more affordable and get better and better over time. So I'm really happy to see that our police department is now going to have this new tool to use here in the city to work on different types of crimes and in different situations. So just wanted to put a spotlight on those two items, and that's about it for now. Thank you, Mayor.
Great. Councilor Marquez, A20 leads us to A20.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to congratulate you on your re-election.
Thank you. Congratulations as well.
Not quite, it's not over yet, but let's see what happens. A20, I got a question. These vehicles that we're purchasing, the both commercial vehicles, the city owns them, correct? I guess I could, Mike Lee?
Yeah, that would be, yes, that would be owned by the city.
By the city. Also, what else do we own, the city owns from PD?
If I could have maybe Marshall Ironman comment on that, Marshall?
Yes, thank you, Mike. For the police services, there are certain dedicated positions where we actually own the equipment. We own the motorcycles, we own the commercial enforcement trucks, and there's also a special response motorhome that we have within our police facilities.
And the building too.
Yeah. Yes.
And the facility, the police station? Well, is that what you said, Mayor?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. My question is this. When the new sheriff took over, he decided to pull all our decals off the vehicles and put the sheriffs on there. I think the city should take pride in what we have, and we need to get back on that pride. That we need to start showing the city that these vehicles that we have should have our decals on them. I've seen several other cities that are contracted to sheriffs that have their own city name on them still. It seems like we're the only city that pulled our decals off these vehicles that we own, city owns. I can understand that where the sheriff says well, we want to put back, put everything on the sheriff's name. Well, I think the city of Moreno Valley should take that right back, and I think we should look into putting our decals back on our vehicles, especially the commercial vehicles and all our motorcycles. And one other thing also I'd like to ask, are any of these equipment usually being used outside of our city? Can somebody answer that?
Mike?
Or council member, if I may,
Marshall.
Mayor. So with the equipment, normally with the commercial enforcement truck, the motorcycles, those items are purchased to service within the city of Moreno Valley. So there are rare exceptions that they would go outside, usually with a mutual aid or some item that they have to support on a call. It's the patrol vehicles that are actually owned by Riverside County Sheriff that are aiding in their services that are provided outside of our jurisdiction.
Okay, thank you, Marcia. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think, Mayor, we should look into this directly and taking our pride back and having our own decals on our vehicles. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Marquez. Any other comments or questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the items.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Councilor Marquez, second, Councilor
Second.
Cabrera. Okay. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Mayor, just for the record, I don't think I put it on the record that Councilwoman Thornton is absent.
Yeah.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0, 1 absent.
We'll go to item F1, and it's public hearing for the annual action plan for program year 2021-2022 and to adopt the 2021-2022 objectives and policies. And we'll have a report from our Financial and Management Services Department.
Thank you very much, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members. The item this evening is the first step in our annual HUD process for the Community Development Block Grants, Emergency Solutions Grants, and the Home Program. So I know we've had a lot of COVID dollars that are coming through these programs. This is actually our standard typical process that we do on an annual basis. This is the first step that then allows us to set up the objectives and policies. And with the city, what we have is an annual, a 5-year consolidated plan. The item tonight is the 4th year in this consolidated plan. So it helps follow the path that we've done for the last 4 years within the grant process. We're not looking at any proposed changes in the objectives or policies this evening. And with this would start off our application process. The applications or the notice of funding available would be posted on December 10th for all of the subrecipients. They'll go through that process. We'll have some training and informational sessions, and then those applications are due by January 29th. Then we'll follow the typical procedure, working through the finance subcommittee members and then bringing that back to council. So those funds can be allocated prior to the May 15th HUD requirement. With that concludes my report.
Okay, great, thanks so much, Marshall. Appreciate that. Council questions of staff? Okay, I'll go ahead and open the hearing. Any public testimonies on this item, Madam Clerk?
None.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close the hearing. And then I'll entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendation number 2.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion made
Second.
by Councilmember Cabrera, second
I'll
by
second.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca. Okay, go ahead and please vote. Madam Clerk?
Thank you. Councilmember Marquez,
Yeah.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4 ayes.
Great, thank you. Okay, that moves on to item G1, which is introduction to ordinance amending chapter 5.05. We'll have a report from Financial and Management Services. This is item G1.
Again, thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members. With this item, there's a couple objectives that are occurring. The first thing is to introduce the ordinance that would modify the municipal code, which would basically provide cleanup language to avoid duplicate or conflicting items with the state. So with the cannabis regulations, as the state has evolved, we've had information that's covered through there, so we can remove this. That really kind of cleans up that process. It's adopting the resolution this evening to establish administrative procedures for the commercial cannabis entitlements and really providing direction to the city manager to accept applications for the remaining commercial cannabis permits. With that application process opening December 2nd on kind of a first come, first served basis. So the key things to note is that the proposed recommendations this evening do not increase the number of permits, nor relax any of the current city's regulations. More or less, it just brings them in line with the state's regulations. So we're working to basically maintain the highest requirements possible and really provide this cleanup language that provided or created some unnecessary confusion or could create that during the process. So this will make the commercial cannabis applicants a little bit more aware of how to comply with all of these regulations as we work through the process. And with that, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Marshall. And then I think you mentioned pretty much in your report, at least, so basically it's to keep it in line with what state law. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, from a simple standpoint, when we develop these regulations, we put a lot of those controls within our city municipal code. The state has brought those into their items as well. So just to make sure that we're not duplicating the same information, we're going with those requirements dictated by the state. And this will make it much simpler for the process to administer these programs from a municipal standpoint as well.
And then I also saw here, it says adopt the resolution amending the city user fee schedule. Can you explain, is there an increase or decrease in the fees or?
So the one key thing here with the user fee schedule is these fees have been existing. So we have the annual permit fee of the $58,356. There's no change to that for the interview fee or the application fee. The key thing here is in the prior application process, we required businesses to provide a community benefit that wasn't quantified. So it did create some confusion. So based on the feedback we received from the applicants, we changed that to a $20,000 annual fee, and then that's utilized for that community benefit. So this has been a good improvement that we've been looking at based on the feedback from the prior applicants.
Okay, I think that answers. Okay, thank you. Any council questions of staff? Okay. We'll just move straight to deliberation then, since we already took public comments. Okay, I'll entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendations to numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I'll make a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Made by Councilmember Cabrera.
Oh, that's fine. And I'll second it. I was looking for little hands.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Baca. Okay, that was Cabrera and Baca. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes for ayes.
Okay, great. It leads us to City Council reports. We have 2 reports. We're now in section I, which is the first one is Western Riverside Council of Governments, WRCOG. And then we also have, so let's start off with that one. So Mayor Pro Tem Baca. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Skip, these reports are not available.
Okay, all right. Western Riverside County Regional Conservation Authority, Councilmember Marquez.
And thank you, Mayor. Real brief. The MSHCP collection fees totaled $33,500, and that's for 15 resident permits for the month of. Looks like it's we're still building some homes in Moreno Valley. and hopefully we can continue. And that's in my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Marquez. We'll have a city manager's report. We're now in I2.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. I just have 3 items tonight. First, of course, congratulations to the mayor and also Mayor Pro Tem Baca and Councilmember Marquez on the re-election. Congratulations on that one. And secondly is next week will be Thanksgiving. So on behalf of myself, the E-team, and the employees of the Middle Valley, I want to wish the mayor and city council a happy Thanksgiving and a safe Thanksgiving. And finally, next week is also going to be the start of the shopping season. So I want to encourage all the residents, everybody, to shop mobile. So that would help with a lot of our local businesses. And so please do shop mobile. That concludes my report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And that leads us now to our closing comments. So we have Councilmember Marquez.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to wish everybody out there a very happy Thanksgiving. If you're going to have a large gathering, just be careful. I think that's the predicament that got us where we're at now. Large gatherings, but be safe out there. Secondly, RTA. You probably heard, if you haven't, maybe it's a little premature, but you'll probably hear about it. But by state and federal laws, we have to go to all electric vehicles by 2024. And RTA is in the process of getting that together. You're not going to see any more propane or diesel buses and shuttles after 2024. So in case you hear it, it is true, the rumor that we'll be going electric buses. Other than that, I wanted to say thank you to staff. Mike Wolf, fantastic job filling holes, potholes, picking up trash. We had a little incident today during the daytime, right during the daytime, broad daylight. We had someone drop off some trash in the middle of the street. Residents, if you see anybody doing that, report them. Take down the information, type of vehicle, you can get the license plates. Give a description of the person dropping that trash off. This part of the town where they dropped this trash off, last week, we had that place cleaned up. Spick and span, everything clean. And then some person wanted to come by and just decided, well, this is a clean spot. And like I said, broad daylight, probably a whole pickup truck dropped trash off in the street. So, just keep your eyes open, and if you see anything, report it. Don't be afraid. And also, I want to say thank you for everyone for your support during the election. It's not over yet until the city, till the ROV says it's over. So I just got my fingers crossed, and I just want to say thanks to my supporters. That's all I have. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Councilmember Cabrera.
Thank you, Mayor. And good evening once again to everyone. First, I do want to also congratulate my colleagues here, starting with Mayor Gutierrez. Congratulations on winning your election. It was a strong victory like the previous one. And also congratulations to Mayor Pro Tem Baca on your victory for District 1. And congratulations to Councilmember Marquez as well. To the three of you, I look forward to continuing to work with you over these next several years. And this team has been able to accomplish quite a bit in a short amount of time. So really excited. It's a pleasure to work alongside you and to actually come together during this pandemic, a really difficult time, put our heads together, put everything else aside, and keep the safety and the security of our residents at the forefront. So congratulations to the three of you, and look forward to the future. So next, as you can see, I do have, I'm letting my facial hair grow a little bit. There is a tradition known as No Shave November. I'm actually participating in that, and that's to remember victims of breast cancer and to bring awareness to breast cancer. And actually, my grandmother, who passed away a couple of years ago, She did have breast cancer as well. So, you know, I'm doing this not only for everyone who has been a victim of breast cancer, but particular for my grandmother. May she rest in peace. As you've seen, we also, it looks like we have a new president and a new administration that will be coming in January. And you know, it's important that we do pay very close attention to the policy changes that they will be making, any policy changes that will be coming down from Washington, D.C., whether that's with jobs or education, renewable energy, electric vehicles, like my colleague, Councilmember Marquez just mentioned. I was not particularly aware of that, the buses with RTA, but that's a good thing at the end of the day. You know, it's just the state, the federal government, local governments need to continue to collaborate to make sure that we're helping the private sector manufacture and produce these vehicles and these buses and this technology, and make sure that we get it out into the market, into the hands of consumers. So the more vehicles that we get, electric vehicles that we get on the road, into whether that's passenger vehicles or public buses or semi-trucks, the more we get out there, the better it's going to be for our economy, the better it's going to be for our environment and for our city. So in addition to that, higher wages with a lot of these new jobs that are coming. So you know, things that we need to keep in mind and make sure that we have our microscope on those policies that will be forthcoming. Next, I just want to briefly talk about COVID as well. As you've seen lately, there's been a lot of discussions and conversations about the vaccines. A couple different companies have come out, and it looks like initially the results are looking positive, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with the FDA and, you know, continued studies, continued testing, and make sure that that's as safe as possible for our people, for people to get vaccines when the time comes. So, you know, just hope that we continue to encourage others to get tested for COVID, you know, see if we can bring some more testing sites to the city as well. So we'll continue working on that. As mentioned before, the holidays are coming up. And if you are going to gather with your families, just please be careful. If you can, you know, wear masks if you're going to be in a lot of people in the house at one time. But, you know, other than that, just want to wish everyone also a happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to all of you. Hope you enjoy your time, and hope you eat a lot of good food. And that's about it for today. So everyone, want to wish you a good night, and we'll see you at the next meeting.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Baca?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say, this is the first time we're getting back together. It seems like it's been a very, very long time. But I'm so glad that the city of Moreno Valley traditionally takes the voting day off. So all day Tuesday, election day, the people are working hard in Moreno Valley trying to get all those ballots in. And I know that it was important this year because it was just, I don't even know how it's going to go down in history books, because you have the election, or the election, I should say, the election of Joe Biden after 4 turbulent years, you know, regardless of what party you're in. But there was a lot of fighting, and I hope that that comes to an end, because it's a new era. And I think that the same thing should happen here in the city of Moreno Valley. I know we have a lot of people that are anti-growth, and we have people that are pro-growth. We have people that are anti-development, people that are pro-development. And, you know, we have a lot of, you know, sides, but I think that the voters have cast their votes, and we're going to move on. So instead of throwing dirt, instead of throwing dirt, we're going to be moving mud, and we're going to be building here in Moreno Valley. I had some cough, so I'm trying not to make it aggravated. I also want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everybody that went out there and participated in the elections. It was like, you know, I kept watching all night. I'm like, where's everybody? Where's District 1? And of course, District 1 always comes out at the end, and there you were. So I just want to say thank you. And thank you to all the staff that works hard relentlessly all the time. And Mayor, thank you for running such a great campaign. You know that we're always biting our nails at the end, but you know what, it always comes out the same. And you were very victorious, and I just want to say congratulations again, and we'll do it again in 2 years. Thank you, good night.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Baca. I want to also just share my congratulations as well to Mayor Pro Tem Baca for your victory, handedly victory for Council District 1. And also congratulations to you as well, David, for your victory as well for Council District 3. And then I also want to just share some congratulations to some members of the school board, Daryl Peden, and then also Susan Smith for their re-elections as well. And like Mayor Pro Tem Baca said, I mean, like many of us know, our city is very divided in many different issues, whether, either pro-development or not, development. And it's really important that we just, get along, that we get along in a professional way. And I think that we can. And I think that we do have a strategic plan of kind of where we're going as a city, but we can include everyone. And that's actually my one of my main objectives as mayor, is to really make sure that we're including everyone in our community, regardless if you disagree or not. It's really important that we're inclusive. So I just want to share that I think this is a time for us to really come together, regardless of what side you're on. And I think this is a time where we can move forward in our community to make Marina Valley a better place for our residents. Also, I just want to share with everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And from the bottom of my heart, I just hope that everyone stays very, very safe during this time. As you know, during Thanksgiving and the holidays, there's always a lot of issues that happen, traffic accidents, domestic violence. But I really hope that we can stay as much safe as possible. And then with the whole COVID thing as well, try to avoid as many gatherings as you can. We've got to slow the spread. I do know that there are some vaccines that are going to be coming out, so hopefully, and then some of the treatment. But we just got to really do our part, and I know we have been doing our part. But let's just continue. I can see the light already there. And again, just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And, obviously I'm very grateful for the residents of Marina Valley for re-electing me for this third term. And I'm very thankful and honored to serve as your mayor, and I'll continue to do a great, great job. And I take that very, very responsibly and seriously. So I really appreciate that. We will go ahead and adjourn now, I guess, the meeting at 6:46 p.m. Thank you all for participating.